I want to put together my formal complaint. I feel harassed and singled out for abuse from management, neglect from people who are responsible to provide services here, such as the cleaners, the landscaping people, um, contractors, and the latest incident is unacceptable. It's the worst, and I'm dealing with the loss of my dog, and she died last week, and it was a traumatic experience, and the response to it from the people here was to turn around and start a rumor that I killed my dog. So, defaming my character, breaching any kind of confidentiality within the responsibility of their job, and maliciously talking to tenants to malign my character. And the people who are supposed to be in charge are nowhere. They're not available. The cleaners are the people who are in charge here. And they get to make the rules. They get to ignore the law. This is Canada. And in Canada, if you see something, you're allowed to remember it. You're allowed to wear your glasses to see it even better. And, by the way, you're allowed to record it so that you can remember it even better. And by doing that, remembering in a way that can be shared, holds people accountable and initially holds them responsible, because when they know that they're actually being remembered, they may act in a more responsible way, in a more accountable, morally, ethically direct, honest way, instead of coming from an irresponsible, irrespectful, disrespectful, malicious place. I've had harassment for the last 2 years because I have big dogs. It started off with one big dog, and now she's gone. And I don't get how this community can allow that discretion to be breached, how they can allow irresponsible, unaccountable people to be here. This is supposed to be a seniors community, aging in place. There's no dignity or grace in the way that we're being treated here. The staff started a rumor because they informed tenants of information that was not theirs to know. They shared their disease with other people instead of going to the responsible people and knowing a responsible and accountable way to deal with an issue. I am Canadian, and I know my rights. When my dog passed away, I disposed of her in a legal manner. And that was no excuse for somebody else who may not know our culture, who may not know our laws, who may not know that they can actually be informed instead of jumping to a conclusion and being prejudiced and ultimately humiliating me at a time when I should be able to just grieve the loss of my companion. But that's not what happened. And it's an example of many abuses that I have experienced from management. This Michael Bezoff, he's supposed to be the person that we are to go to, but he's unavailable, and he is unavailable. He's not invested in this responsibility, and he doesn't show up with an open mind. He shows up with an attitude that he's in charge. He's not here to de-escalate or solve a problem. He's here to assert authority. And that is unacceptable. At my age, I am certainly not going to let you be the boss of me. But you, as a community, have a responsibility. Aging in place. Well, this is not an institution, and you will not treat me like you have authority over me. We are Canadian. We have Canadian rules, Canadian laws, Canadian culture. Don't insult me by harassing me with your ignorance. I need to see change. I am owed an apology for the treatment. Your ignorance is humiliating. I now am concerned what people are going to think. I see the looks on their faces. Completely unnecessary. Your staff has no concept of discretion. When first responders show up, they don't become prejudiced to the people they're serving. The staff here, the management here, seem to think that they're entitled to do that. They allow contractors and vendors to come here, and they're responsible for the vendors and contractors' behaviors, just like I'm responsible if a guest comes to my home. But there's no accountability. When a complaint is made about them, there's no responsibility. So what is going to change? Sorry and excuses and arguing for limitation and retaliation, those are completely unacceptable responses, and they're completely without accountability. So what are you doing? What are you paid to do if really demeaning and disrespectful and insensitive people here? What do we do with